Hello everyone! In this video I will showcase a set from a fellow Swedish trainer named Reusenhag, who is a great battler, and he is especially good in Ultra League, where his best leaderboard achievement is global rank 14 in an earlier season. And I've said to the players in the Swedish community that I can feature their set where they reach legend if they want to share it, so more of these showcases may or may not come in the near future. Reusenhag has used his team back and forth since all the way back to Season 2 in GBL, so this is an OG team and it consists of Shadow Dragonite as a lead and Shadow Snorlax as the bait swap or safe swap, and Lapras as a closer. And now in Season 7 he gained 550 elo with his team in 5 days to hit legend. So no XLs are required for this team, even though Lapras can be a little XL'd if you want, and they all happen to be from Kanto region. And now let's have a look at the games that was his last push to legend. The first opponent is Flo, and he leads with a Shadow Ampharos. So this is typing-wise a neutral lead, but the Ampharos is going to outpace the Shadow Dragonite. So Reusenhag went for a risky play here to try to hit the CMP, but the opponent didn't throw, so they got the full Volt Switch for free. But then he sticks to the strategy and sends in Snorlax to bait out the fighting type, and he also absorbed some of that energy from the Ampharos and is almost able to take down Machamp. And here he's going to call the bait, because the opponent might think that they can reach 2 cross shops, but Dragon Breath is too quick of a move. And then they have a Shadow Abomasnow in the back. So this is not good. The opponent has 2 Pokemon that deals well with Lapras, but at least Reusenhag has 2 shields for the Lapras. So he's going to try to bait, and the opponent will not shield. So at this point they are obviously shielding or saving their shield for the Ampharos. So here Reusenhag will charge up maximum amount of energy before throwing the Surf, so just before the opponent reaches their energy ball. And here the opponent made a terrible mistake to use only 1 Volt Switch against Lapras instead of 3. He should have just doubled up on the Thunder Punches and win the game, but now he's 1 turn short for the next Thunder Punch, so Reusenhag is actually able to reach the Surf before the Ampharos reaches the Thunder Punch. Moving on to the second game, Reusenhag faces Alex Jinson, and there is a fighter in the lead. So when there is a fighter in the lead, switch advantage is very important. And this is a mistake that a lot of players does, that they just switches into their best Kingdra counter when they see the Kingdra. But Reusenhag stays in to absolutely 100% ensure that he's going to be able to keep the switch advantage, so that his backline doesn't have to see that Surf Edged. So even though his Dragonite is down to the yellow, he will be able to take down this Kingdra, no problem. And he still has 2 shields and will be able to deal a bunch of damage to the Surf Edged with Ice Beam. Of course he doesn't try to go for Surf, because the opponent is unlikely to shield with only 1 shield left, and he's not going to be able to reach 2 Surfs. So therefore he threw Ice Beam and comes back in with Dragonite, and he must shield this, because he doesn't know what's in the back. But there is a Swampert in the back. So this is not over by any means, but Shadow Snorlax does have a pretty decent matchup against the Swampert. Shadow Snorlax actually deals 3 damage per lick, which is 50% more than a regular Snorlax. But there is also a breakpoint for a regular Snorlax against Swampert and Charizard, which is why I myself use a Snorlax that is attack weighted in Ultra League. To deal 3 damage against Swampert and Charizard. But anyways, this is still very close, and he's just able to farm down the Surf Edge and the Swampert. So yeah, it was a very close game. The next opponent is Professor Dr. Tentacle, and he leads with a Talonflame, which is a very good matchup for Shadow Dragonite, because all of the fire type moves are resisted, of course, and he also outpaces it. So Reusenhag wants to keep the switch advantage, just like the last game, so he stayed in and dealt a bunch of damage to this Tangrowth before switching out. So the Snorlax at this point, it's just a cushion to soak up some energy from Tangrowth and some energy from the Talonflame, and also maintain switch advantage. So here, of course, Reusenhag will wait out the switch timer and then come back in with Dragonite, because that's the matchup that he wanted to preserve. Lapras is also good against Talonflame, but a double shielded Talonflame can deal some serious damage to Lapras when it starts ramping up all of these flame charges. And the opponent's last Pokemon is a Venusaur, so at this point it's already over. The opponent will not be able to deal with this Dragonite in any good way, and even if they could for some reason get to 2 charge moves with the Venusaur, they're not going to be able to deal with Lapras afterwards. So Reusenhag has already won this game, but the opponent still wants to play it out, and then that's it. Moving on to game number 4 of the set against Givix, Reusenhag is faced with a Shadow Abomasnow lead, which is absolutely disgusting for the Dragonite, so of course he's going to switch into Snorlax, and the opponent counter switches into Swampert, and here Reusenhag actually makes a very high level play, because Shadow Snorlax can defeat Swampert, so he could take switch advantage here, and then the Abomasnow would not go up against Dragonite. So that would be a good thing, right? But he also recognized that Lapras really needs shields to deal with Abomasnow. And if it has shields, then it can deal pretty cleanly against the Abomasnow if it shields all of the energy balls. So instead of taking switch advantage, he takes shield advantage and banks a Dragon Claw that he can use later at any point in the game when the switch timer is up. And he puts all of his trust into Lapras. But sadly, the opponent has a very good Lapras counter, so there were actually basically no way to win this game. But he's still going to try though. So the opponent debuffed him once and then start using these Shadow Balls. So he's going to reset the debuff with Shadow Dragonite and take the shield, and then this is what Reusenhag saved the shields for, to be able to defeat the Abomasnow later in the game. And the Abomasnow is not able to reach another energy ball. But then this Jellicent just has too much HP and there's no way to win at this point. Moving on into the last game against Thank You, Reusenhag is up against a Toxicroak lead, which is a fighter which we established earlier is very important to maintain switch advantage against. So he's not going to switch immediately, he's going to throw 1 Dragon Claw and put this Jellicent in perfect farmland range for Snorlax. Because if you switch in Snorlax immediately, then you're just going to be debuffed and waste a ton of energy when you hit 100 energy, but since the Jellicent is at half health, it's perfect farmland range to exit with roughly 100 energy with Snorlax without using any charge moves. But then, after 3 bubble beams, the opponent is going back into the Toxicroak, and since the switch timers are desynced, he's forced to throw 1 charge move, but this second Body Slam is actually a mistake. He should have just waited 1 more second, because the Dragonite is still going to have to shield once to take down this Toxicroak, and well, that triple debuffed Body Slam was kinda wasted. But anyways, the opponent's last Pokemon is a Lapras, and Reusenhag is just not able to reach another Dragon Claw, so now he's in a tricky spot. He would have loved to have a second charge move on Snorlax here, but it is what it is, and the opponent uses their last shield there. So the opponent is carrying Skull Bash on their Lapras, so this is a pretty bad matchup, but it's not terrible, because Reusenhag will be able to spam out these Surfs before the next Skull Bash, so the opponent's defense is not that high yet. And then the Jellicent in the back is very low, so that's not gonna be a problem. So all Reusenhag needs to do here is reach 1 more Surf and take down this Lapras, and then the Snorlax will just finish off this Jellicent in no time. So overall, very well played by Reusenhag, and I want to congratulate you to reaching Legend, and thanks for watching!